Yeah, good morning, guys. Okay, fine. So, very fine. So, last day I just said you about uh, the general difference between these two things. What two things? One is about design patterns, and one is architectural patterns. Where I said you design patterns are for architecture patterns talks about building an application, and design pattern talks about a particular problem in an application and how it has to be resolved. A particular problem and how it has to be resolved. That's what exactly design pattern. What the reference I said. And I listed you the architecture patterns. I have given you a big list of architecture patterns that are available to us. And in that, we just been talked about there are so many architectural patterns that are available. There are so many architectural patterns that are available for us in the industry. Okay, not like one or two. So many architecture patterns are there, and we can go through. We can just go through the different architecture patterns here. They're divided into three categorizations. What are the three? The first one is going to be creational patterns. Okay, the second one is going to be structural patterns. The third one is going to be the behavioral patterns. Okay, the third one is behavioral patterns. Like this, we just have three different classifications for these patterns. Okay, and then remember, yeah, these are the three different classifications for the patterns what we have. And then I said you this is the list of creational patterns. This is a list of the creational patterns what we have, and there's a list of the structural patterns what we have, and finally there's a list of the behavioral patterns what we have. And then, guys, the next thing what we talked is about the architecture patterns. The first one is the design patterns what I listed you, and the second thing is going to be the architecture patterns what we just been talked about. Okay, they are the architectural patterns what we just have. Okay, fine. And then I given the list of architecture patterns that are available, the list of architectural patterns that are available, and there's a list. In this list, we have an architecture pattern called as the model view controller, and exactly that is what exactly we are learning up. The model view controller architectural pattern. So today, let's talk about, let us just talk about the MVC architecture and what exactly is an MVC. What exactly is MVC, and we'll understand about each and every component that is available for you under MVC. Okay, we'll start from there. So MVC, what it stands for? Model View Controller. So, what is a controller? Controller. What is a controller? This is a class. Is a class with a set of methods known as action methods. With a set of methods known as action methods, and these methods will be responding for client requests. These methods will be responding for client requests. What exactly I mean to say is, listen, actually, if you just understand my point here, in MVC is a web development. Basically, what we're learning with MVC is a web development. In a web application, all of you might be having some familiarity with web forms already, you know, request and response. Or if at all you are new to web development, if at all you are new to web development also, every day you are using web applications. Every day you are using web applications. You are using web applications every day in your day-to-day business. You open a browser and it will simply saying www.facebook.com. Yes or not? When you open a browser, okay, when you open a browser and you type www.facebook.com and hit enter, this is a request. This is a request. Request to whom? The Facebook server. You are sending a request to the Facebook server. We call it as a HTTP request. What do we call? HTTP request. You are sending a HTTP request to the Facebook server. When I hit the enter key here, a request goes to the Facebook's server now. Are you clear? And once the request goes to the Facebook server, now what will happen? It will be sending you a response from there. It will be sending you a response from there. Okay, it just takes the request and sends you a response. And basically, for example, guys, you wanted to get the login page. You wanted to get the login page now. Or you wanted to get the registration page. You wanted to get the login page. You wanted to get the registration page. Okay. They're the pages what you just wanted to launch. Login page, registration page. Different pages you wanted to launch now. Okay. Now, basically, the login, what you want to do, basically in web terminology, what we call that as a web page. In the web terminology, what we call it as a web page. So actually, when I'm just trying to hit the enter here, it opens me now, and this is the login page. This is the login page. When I say create new account, this is the registration page. Are you clear? A login page, registration page, all these are pages now. All these are different pages. So what we do now, for every page, we design a method. For every page, we write a method, not design a method, we write a method. And we call that as a action method. We call that method as a action method. Now, when you send a request, means you are calling that action method now. You are calling that action method. Okay, for example, what is a new controller is a class, public class. Okay, I wanted to define a controller class called account controller. Some name, guys. Account controller. Okay, account controller. So this is a class now. What I'm defining. Okay, and see, this is a class. This is a class. And what class? Controller class. Generally, every controller class, generally, it's a convention we follow. What is it? Every controller should suffix with the keyword controller. I repeat, guys, every controller should suffix with the keyword controller. We just use the controller keyword as a suffix here. Did you understand my point or not? Every controller will be suffixing with a keyword called as controller. So what is it? Public class account controller. Okay. And the second important thing is it's a convention, and then there is a rule. What a rule? Every controller should inherit from a predefined class called as controller. There is a predefined class called as controller. Okay. So just an important note to remember. What is that? Every controller class should suffix the keyword, suffix the word. What is the word? Controller. See now, you are suffixing now account controller. Okay, and must inherit from the predefined class. Which class? Controller. And then only we can call that class as Is it clear, all of you? So this is the first important rule what you just required to remember. So every class should suffix the word controller and inherit from a predefined class controller. And if you do that only, we call that class as a controller. It's a mandatory thing now. Okay now? Next. What do the controller contains in it? I said you? Methods. What do we call them? Action methods. Now, we are going to write a method and that is going to be an action method. See, you know how to write a methods here. I don't require to tell you. Public string login. So this is a method. This is a method now. Just a method, that's all. And we call this method as a action method. The methods of a controller class are called as action method. When I call this method, all of you carefully listen. When I call this method, what it has to return, now I said return type as string. So what will you write here? Return some string, hello. Return hello world. So what it is going to return now? A string value. But what is our requirement, guys? Our requirement is not to return a string. Our requirement is to return is a page. What page? Login page. Our requirement is to return a login page. Are you clear? So now what are you returning string? Hello world. Do you want to see hello world on the screen? No, I don't want to see hello world on the screen. What I want to see? A login page on the screen. In MVC, see, in web applications, the response for a request will generally be a web page. In web applications, I'm talking about web application. In web applications, the response for a request will generally be a web page. If I send a request, it will send me a web page as a response now. Are you clear? And in MVC, we call web pages as views. Did you catch my point, all of you? Okay, so in MVC we call web pages as what? Views. We call view. Array, view is nothing but a page. A view is nothing but a web page. So without calling web page, what do we call? We call it as a view. That is what we just use. We call this as a view. Okay. So action methods in MVC will generally return what? Return views. They will be returning views. See, look, all of you. If you want to return a string, what did you take here? String is a class, you know that. And you're returning a string value. But now what you want to return? You want to return a view now. To return a view, they defined as a class called view result. That is a class. Okay. If it is returning a string, what did you write? Return hello world. Hello world is a string now. Now you want to return a view. So what you should write? Return view. That is how you write. Did you understand, all of you? Return view. What it returns? A view with the name login. What it returns? A view with the name login. It is going to return a view with the name login. Okay? All of you carefully listen. This returns a view with the name login. Okay? So what you call this method as? Action method. Okay. So So what I'm telling you, a controller is a class with a set of methods. What we call them? Action methods. And these action methods will be responding for. Array, these methods will be responding for client requests and sends a view as response. Are you clear? It is responding for the client request now, and it is sending a view as response. So taking a request, sending a response. What exactly happens to you in this particular case now? So action methods will generally take a request and sends the views as response here. So are you clearer? Anyone has any doubts? Yeah, someone asking action method. Yeah, action method means that will respond for client request and sends a view as a response. Like this, guys, I can write multiple methods. Public, register. Again, this is a return view. Are you clear? Okay, you have gone for, you just forgot a password. You have forgot a password now. So what do? You click on forgot password. When you click on forgot password, it opens a page for you now. Enter your email ID. Same story. What? Public view result. View result. Forgot password. This returns a view with the name forgot password. Okay, then guys, you have gone for forgot password. You received an email now for changing the password. You clicked on the link. What it opens? Reset password. It opens another page called as reset password. Reset password. This returns a view with the name. This is how the methods are going to be defined. Yeah, view result is a class. View result is a class, and that is the return type. Array, a class can be a return type. Now, every class is a type. You learned in C#. Every class is a type, and the type can be used as a return type. Are you clear? Yes, view result is a predefined class. View result is a predefined class. Are you clear? And that is the return type. So just like string is a predefined class. String is a predefined class. View result is also a predefined class to you. Okay, now. Okay, so that's what exactly the class is going to be. Yeah, we define the methods in this way, guys. Is it clear, all of you? Yes or not? Okay, just few things I wanted to tell you here. View result is predefined class. Okay? Every class is nothing but a type, and we now use it as a return type of our action. We are going to use it as a return type of our action method now. Yeah, that's what you are doing. You are using as a return type of the action method. It's a predefined class, and every class is a type, and a type can be a return type of a method. Any doubts with anything still? Any doubts with anything still? Anyone? Online students? Action result is a parent class, Amit. Action result is a parent class of view result. We'll talk about it. Wait. You can, Naveen, can you return two values at a time? Huh? To return string as well as view. Can you return two classes at a time? Can you return two values at a time? What is the question of asking about I want to return two things at a time now? You cannot return multiple things. Okay. So, these are the methods we defined in a class. Now, how do people call these methods now? How do people call these methods? How do people call these methods? Suppose all these methods are defined as a part of a website. All these are designed as a part of a website. And the name of the website is naresheti.com. The name of the website is naresheti.com. How do you call it? HTTP naresheti.com. You just write www.naresheti.com. Is you're calling the website. Now guys, watch. / Okay, your controller name. What is your controller name? When you are using, you don't require to type account controller, just enough. / That's how you call. You know C#, you know defining classes, you know defining methods. How do you call a method? You create the instance of a class and call the method, correct? But here, we call the methods in browser. We call the methods in browser. We open the browser and the address bar we type naresheti.com / controller name. What is the controller name? Account / login. What is the login name? What is the method name? Login. When you call this, automatically the login method, the login view will come to you. The login view will come to you in this process now. Okay. That is the process of you call. Now, for a simple way, what is that? HTTP. Some sites will run on HTTP, some sites will run on HTTPS. So yes is optional there. What will come here? Domain name. The www.naresheti.com is called as a domain name / controller / action. Controller / action. So that's the way of calling. Now I want to call a will launch you register view. Okay now. Yeah. So this will be the process. This will be the process of calling. This will be the process of calling now. Okay. So basically controllers are classes. Controllers are classes. And these classes should inherit from a predefined class called controller. Not mandatory, but a convention to follow. Every controller class should suffix with the word controller. Okay. What next? I given you a picture about a controller. What is a controller? How do you define a controller? Generally, guys, to develop to work with MVC, You should have a good knowledge on object-oriented programming. That's it. A good knowledge on object, how to define classes, methods, all these things. What the next one here? View. What's a view? A view in MVC is nothing but a web page. Nothing but a web page. Okay? And these pages are saved with an extension. What is the extension? Generally, how do you save web pages here? What is the extension of web pages? You learnt your HTML JavaScript classes now. What is the extension of a web page? .htm or .html. That is the extension now. Okay, pages are saved with an extension .cshtml if the programming language is and .vbhtml if the programming language is VB. Are you clear, guys? It's a new extension what you are coming across. In HTML classes, you learned the extension HTML. In ASP.NET classes, you use the extension as ASPX. In MVC, you'll be using the extension as .cshtml. Are you clear? Views in MVC contain both HTML and C# or VB code in it with a easy to go syntax, with an easy to use syntax, with a easy to use syntax, we just write the code. HTML, you know, C#, you know, both these things you know here, but what you require to know, you know, how to use both in one page. Because we learned HTML separately, we learned C# separately. Now the question is how to use HTML and C# both in one single page. That is what we are going to learn going forward. Okay, now, yeah. A view generally contains what? Presentation logic in it. What you write here, presentation logic, you just wanted to design a registration form. You want to design a registration form. Yeah, you write code for how to design this now using some text boxes. Okay, some drop down list. A drop down list. They're all text boxes. Okay, they're all radio buttons, button labels. Like this, we use all these things now and we start designing now. So what it contains? Presentation logic. A view generally contains views in MVC contain both HTML, and a view generally contains what? Presentation logic in it. Okay? Views are sent as a result of an action method that is defined under read that point carefully. What are the views are sent as a result of action method that is defined under a controller class. Controller class defines the action methods and these views will be sent as results to those action methods. Okay now. Okay. Fine. Any doubts with you? Array, we'll go forward. We'll understand how to combine C# and HTML code. I'm not telling you any coding things now. We'll talk about coding later on. Going forward, we'll learn all those things. But first I'm giving you what is a controller, what is a view. That's it. Okay? What third one, guys? Model. What is a model? This is also a class. Model is also a class which contains database logic in it. What it contains? Database. Say you designed a registration form. So user called account/register, the page opened. Once the page opened, what will happen? The user will enter the details now. Your name, your first name, your last name, your gender, your detail, date of birth, all the things you're entering. Finally, you have a register button. When you click on the register button, what are you expecting to happen? Come on, tell me. When you click on the register button, what are you expecting to happen? All the values getting stored on the database. We expect storing the data. We expect storing the data where we generally save data in a database. We can store data in a file also, but files are not going to be secured storage devices. So what is the general storage device we use for storing the data? Database. So we expect the data should be stored in a database now. So basically what it contains, is also a class, okay, which contains database logic in it. It contains database logic in it, okay. So what will happen? Whenever you try to click on the register, all the data will be sent to the model. Model will now have the code in it for working with the database. Working with the database now. Point clearer or not? Who works with the database? Model work with the database. Okay. So this is also a class which contains database logic in it. It is going to contain the database logic in it. Okay. That is all the code that is required for interactions with the database is now defined under this class. Is now defined under this class. Okay. Generally, model class contains code for performing CRUD operations. We always CRUD, create, read, create means insert. Read means update is update only, delete is delete on. Array means you're performing select, insert, update and delete now. The code to perform the CRUD operations. Okay. In SQL terminology, what we call selecting, inserting, updating, reading. But application terminology, we call it as CRUD. In application terminology, what we call CRUD operations. Create, read, update, delete. Inserting a record. Inserting a record is called creating. Why? In object-oriented terminology, a record means an instance. In object-oriented terminology, a record, recollect yourself guys, you learned in the C# classes. What is it? To represent a table, we define a class in our application called entity. A table and a class are one and the same. We use tables to represent entities in database. We use classes to represent entities in our application. There is a customer table. We define a customer class now. Yes or not? And that class is what we call model now. The entity class is what we call as a model. And now every record in a table is nothing but an instance of our class now. Every record of a table is nothing but a instance of our class now. You have a record in the table, you have instance in our class. A record in a table is a unique representation for the entity or not? Yes or not? See, these are the important things you learned in your C# also. What is it? Application development mainly deals with entities. So what is that? You're developing an application for a school. What is the entity? Student, teacher. You're developing an application for a business. Who is the entity? Customer. So what do we have? Entity. Application development mainly deals with what? Entities. Okay. Entities are tables in a database and in an object-oriented application. Both are same only here. A table represents an entity as well as a class represents a entity. Records in a table are you have a student table. You stored 100 records now. 100 records corresponding to one student or 100 different students. 100 different students. So every record in the table is a unique representation for each entity. And the same way, instances of a class are we have a customer student class. We create an instance of the student. One instance represents one student now. If I create 100 instances means 100 students. So a record in the table and a instance of my class, both are one and the same. Okay. Now you want a new student. What do? You insert a record. You want a new student. What do? You insert a record in database. In your application, you create an instance. Are you getting my point or not? In a database, what you do, guys? You insert a record. In application, we don't insert a record. We create an instance. That is why a create and a insert are same. In object-oriented terminology, we call it create. In database terminology, we call insert. Now, I want to get the student. In database terminology, what do we call select? In application terminology, what do we call read? I'm reading him. We can also call it retrieve. We can also call it as a retrieve or read, whatever it is. Update means, in both the terminologies, update only. In database also we call update only. In object-oriented terminology also we call update only. And delete is delete only. In database also delete only. In application terminology also delete only. Delete is always delete. So did you understand what is the meaning of the CRUD, all of you? Yes or not? Creating, reading, updating, and deleting. These are the four things what we have in terminology that deals with the entities now. Okay. So point number one, application development mainly deals with entities. Entities are tables in a database and classes in an object-oriented application. Records in a table are unique representation for each entity, and in the same way, Instances of a class are unique representation for each entity in an object-oriented application. Okay, all that coding for creating, reading, inserting, updating, deleting, mainly to interact with the database, you'll be having under the model, will be present under the model. Basically, the concept of MVC is clear separation of concerns. What you call clear separation of concerns means one person will be focusing on UI designing. UI designing means views. So one person will be focusing on what? UI designing views. He'll be creating all the .cshtml files. Another person will be focusing on models. He will be writing all the database coding, defining classes, writing the code for inserting, updating, deleting. Another person will integrate all the things through a controller, writing the methods, calling the views. Okay, now listen. What is the relation between all these three, sir? What is the relation between all these three things now? Are you following my point? What is the relation between all these three things now? Okay, listen. Users can never directly interact with a view or model. Users can never directly interact with a view or model. That is, every request should first come to, and that is why the name, guys, remember, that is why the name controller. It is going to be the controller for everything. Everything should be controlled by it now. So that is why they use the word called as controller. It controls everything. So every request should first come to a controller, and then the controller decides whether the view should be sent directly to the user request, to the user's request, or the view requires a model for any database communication. What I mean to say, I'll tell you. I want the login view to be opened. I want the login view to be opened. So I opened a browser and I sent a request to login now. Login action. Login view will come. Now tell me, to open the login view, do you require a database? Come on, yaar, open the mouth. To open the login view, do you require the help of a model? Not required. Why? Array, that is just a text boxes and all. That's what I open. You enter the data, click on that, and next, when I click on the login button, then I require the database. First time the view to come, I don't require a database now. First time the view to come on my machines, I don't require a database. Are you clear? So the view basically, the controller basically checks whether I need to send a view directly to the user or the view requires a help of a model. The view requires the help of a model. Okay. Well, I logged in into Amazon. Okay. after logging into Amazon, I want to view the products. I want to just view the products. I want to view the products. If you want to view the products, do you require a database? Come on. To view the products, you require a database or not? Yes, yeah. Without database, how will you get the product list now? The product list has to be shown on your screen now. That should come from your database. Otherwise, they will design all the product lists for you. Millions of products will be there. They don't manually design that now. The values will come from where? From a database they will come for you. Okay? So that's what understand. You logged in into your application. You logged in into your application. Logged into Facebook. You logged into Facebook. First one will come login page. Login page doesn't require a database. Now your login is completed. After login is completed, you want to modify your, you want to edit your profile. You click on edit button. Edit view will launch. Edit view requires a database. Don't forget that. Edit view should pull your data and show you. Edit view is not blank, na? Edit view should pull the data and show you. To open the view, I am asking, Dhruva. That is secondary. First, to open the view, that's all. To open the view, all views doesn't require a database. To open a login view, to open a register view, database is not required. When you require a database, when you click on the login button, when you click on the register button, then you require the database. Are you clearer or not? You don't require a database for every view to launch. Some views require it, some views doesn't require it. Where to store view? View is a page, yeah, view is a page. View is a .cshtml page. That is a page what will open. That is a page which is going to be launched. View means a page, a file. That file will open to you. Okay? So, views are created. Views are created first, stored on the server. When I send a request, now the controller checks. This view requires a database now or not. This view requires a database now or not. So you asked for a registration page. Initially, registration page doesn't require a database now. Yes or not? So the view is directly sent to you. The view opens now. The view opens. Now you entered all the details and click on register. Then it will require a database to save the data. That is secondary. Leave that. I'm not talking about the second step. First step, only I'm still. View coming onto my system. Okay. Now I used a login page. I called for a login. Login page opens. I called for a login. Login page opens. To launch the login page, is the view required? Come on, answer me. To launch the login page, is the model required? To launch a login page, model is not required. To launch a login page, model is not required. So in the second step, you registered. I am not talking about the second step now. The view is open, you registered. Now you want to edit the profile. You clicked on edit button. Edit profile window will open now. But don't forget, the edit profile window to open requires a model now. Yes or not? Are you clear? Not decided, Anand. Will be identified, not deciding. Deciding is different. It will be identified whether it requires a model or not. Okay? So based on that, it will work. So the edit profile view to launch. To launch the view, only database is required. Got it? To launch a login view, to launch a register view, database is not required. But to launch edit profile view. Database is required. Database is required. So every view may not deal with a model. Every view may not deal with a model. For example, I'll tell you. There is an about page in the website. There is an about page in the website. Understand, about page in the website, does it require a model? About page here, every website has an about page that demonstrates about the company. What is my company and all. Does it require a model? That is static page, guys. That is a static page. It doesn't require any model. It doesn't require any model. It is static page. Directly created and put on the server. When you call it, the page will open. That is static. It doesn't require any model. Point clear, all of you? Okay. So if at all, so some pages require, some pages doesn't require. So don't think like every page requires a model. Some pages require it, some pages doesn't require it. For example, I'll tell you, see. You went to a restaurant for having a breakfast now. You went to a restaurant for having a breakfast. It is a self-delivery counter. Self-delivery counter. So you went into terms and conditions pages, help pages. All these are static pages. You went to the counter. You ordered for an idli. You ordered for an idli. You paid there. You given a token. You paid there. You given a token. What do you go? You go to the delivery counter. You go to the delivery counter. When you go to the delivery counter and give the token and say you want idli. Now tell me, guys, is idli, what are these foods are readily available or are they prepared on your order? Tell me. They're readily available. Why order? Yeah, when you order, they'll prepare idli, Ankit. When you order, they'll prepare an idli. They're readily available. There is a hot pack in which the idli readily available there. Are you clear? So when you give this token, what you will do? You will open the hot box now, put the idli in your plate, and the plate is given to you, right? Yes or not? You ordered for a masala dosa. You ordered for a masala dosa. Is it readily available? Is the masala dosa readily available? No. The masala dosa, what you ordered, is not readily available. It should be prepared. It should be prepared. Did you get my point or not? Now here, understand, who is the controller in this now? The controller here is the delivery person. The person who is delivering the food is the controller. You are the client. You went now. You are the client. You are requesting. You given the token now. To whom you are given? The controller. That is nothing but the delivery person. You want a dosa. Are you going to give your token to the dosa master in the kitchen? Will you talk with the dosa master? Or are you going to directly put the food on the plate and take it now? Yes or not? What you require to do? You require to go to the delivery person, the controller. Give your token. That is your request. Once you give, he will check now. What is it? Your food is readily available or should be prepared. You ordered idli or you ordered vada, readily available. So that is put in the plate and given to you. The plate is the view now. The food what is given is the view. Are you getting me or not? Okay, now you ask for idli, directly it is given to you. No. You ordered for a masala dosa, or you ordered for a pizza dosa, you ordered for a cheese dosa, something, a variety of dosa you ordered now. Okay, so when you order for a dosa, what happens now? The controller, means the delivery person, will tell the master in the kitchen, there is a dosa master in the kitchen, he tells to him, what is it? Prepare a masala dosa. Yes or not? Now who is the dosa master now? Your model. The dosa master is your model. He is a model. He prepares the dosa. He prepares the dosa. Sends to the delivery person. The delivery person gives the things to you. So same thing. What is it? Tomorrow, if a controller requires if a view requires a database, controller sends a request to model. Model will deliver the data to controller. Controller will send it to view. Are you clear? Means a controller or a view cannot interact. I'm sorry. A view or a model cannot interact with them directly. A view or a model cannot interact with each other directly. The interaction should be done only through controller. That is all secondary things here. Why are you talking about Chrome will store the data? That is all secondary. First understand the basics here. Later on we'll talk about all the things. First basic concept you understand first. You don't think high. That's what I'm telling. First basically how the application runs. If Chrome doesn't store your data, so first start from here. Later on we'll discuss if the browser saves the data, what will happen. All these things are secondary. Okay, fine. So did you catch my point, all of you? Yes or not? So what I'm telling you, every view doesn't require a model help. Okay, now every view doesn't require a model's help all the time. No need a model help. Some views require a model's help. So I hope you guys are clear. So first, who are we in the restaurant? Who are we in the restaurant? Clients. Okay. Now, what we give? We give the token. That is our request. We give a token now. That is our request. Okay. To whom you give? The controller. That is nothing but the delivery person. The delivery person. We give the request. And what the delivery person will do now? We'll check now. What do you want? You ordered for a idli. You brought a token for an idli. So directly that is put in the plate and given to you. The plate is your view. The plate, what is given to your view, and that is given to you response. The view is given to you in a response. Are you clear? You given a token request. The plate is given to you response now. You received a response. The response is the food plate, and that is the view. Okay? No, you ordered for a dosa. You ordered for a masala dosa now. You ordered for a masala dosa. Controller tells to the dosa master, nothing but the model who prepares the dosa. And after that, that comes to the delivery counter. The delivery counter. Now tell me guys, can you directly tell to the dosa master, prepare me a masala dosa? Or will the dosa master give you the food now? No. Nothing happens. Everything should be done through the person who stands there. And he is your controller. Any questions? Understood the concept? Yes or not? Okay. So directly a view or directly, see, I'm a client. I'm an end user. I'm a client. As a client, can I talk with a model? No. That's what I said to you. I cannot talk with the dosa master. I cannot talk with the dosa master now. I cannot talk with the model directly. I cannot talk with the view directly. Talking with view directly means, can you directly go, take a plate, open the hot pack, put the food in it, and can you bring it? No. You can't do this. So that is the main thing what you just require to understand. See this picture, all of you. Request comes to louder controller. Controller checks what model support required or not required. Not required. Directly delivers a view to you. Required will communicate with the model. Model will send back the data. Now the data is sent to view, and the view goes as a response. The view goes as a response. So now if you see this picture, the controller only communicates with model, the controller only communicates with the view. And now you'll have a doubt here. Sir, in this picture, it was shown the view is also communicating with the model. Array, the arrow mark, what is it representing? View communicating with the, but you said view won't communicate with the model. Yeah, now also I'm telling you, view won't communicate with the model. What this arrow mark represents, view will take the help of the model for design purpose. View will take the help of the model for design purpose. Who will give the model? Control will give the model. Did you catch my point or not? Who will give the model? Controller only will give the model. When the controller gives the model to the view, view will use that model for identifying the contents present in it. To identify the contents present in it means view refers into the model. View refers into the model to know what is present inside of it. But view don't interact with the model. Are you clearer or not? View don't interact with the model or the model don't interact with the view. View will take the help of the model just to understand what is present in the class. Now, in that class, what you defined here, what properties are there, what methods are there, just to know now. To know that, view will check into the model. It will view into the model, that's all. So, looking at this arrow mark, don't be confused. Views will talk with models. Views won't talk with the model. Who will talk? Only the controller. And the name controller came like that only. You can understand the word controller. That is the whole and soul controller what we ask. Many developers can work independently in the project, then why not ASP.NET Web Forms? The drawback of ASP.NET is heavyweight here. One of the main drawback of ASP.NET is heavyweight. It is just going to have heavyweight. That is one of the reason. Okay, I will tell you the differences between Web Forms and MVC. Hold on. We'll talk about the differences between Web Forms and MVC architectures. Hold on, we'll talk on that. Okay. Yeah. So this is what MVC stands for. Model, View, Controller. So in this, model is a class containing database coding. Controller is a class containing action methods. Views are the web pages. Views are the web pages containing presentation logic. Presentation logic in it. Okay, now? So these are the three important things what we just have in this. Okay. Well, guys, today I'll just wind up the things here. I'll just wind up the things here. So tomorrow we'll talk, sorry, not tomorrow, Monday. Monday we'll talk about the history of MVC, and also I will tell you the differences between the traditional web forms applications and the MVC applications. The differences between the traditional web forms and the MVC application. Where actual business logic resides. Model. Business logic will be in the model. Amit. Business logic will be implemented in the model. Okay. So Monday we'll talk about all these things. History and the differences between the olden web forms architecture and the MVC architecture. What are the differences? What we just saw. When do we use web forms architecture and when do we use MVC architecture? Okay. Have a nice day. We'll meet tomorrow. Sorry, we'll meet Monday. All the videos for online students, you received a mail, check it out. Online students, you received a mail, check it out. All the online students, you received a mail, check it out. Yes, MVC and MVC core are same. It's a new version. MVC core is a new version. MVC core is a new version. We will interact with the controller only. Mohan, not we can. We will interact with the controller only. Sai Bharat, they said that they are going to send a mail. Check it out. You must have received it yesterday, otherwise you will receive it today. Either you should have received it yesterday or you will receive it today. Mails will be sent. Okay, if not, they will send it today. And in the mail, they will send you all the 4 videos. Okay, if you did not receive, you will receive it today, and in that you will get all the 4 videos. Mayur, ask your admin. We'll be learning about MVC and MVC code also. No, cannot change to 7:30. Notes will be given here. Notes will be given. Wait. Batch admin, don't know here. We'll let you know on Monday. Still not decided. We'll let you know on Monday. This is MVCR, not Angular. If you want Angular, you should join Angular separately. MVC is different, Angular is different. Yes, Web API and Entity Framework are covered. Web API and Entity Framework are covered. Google Classroom is not created. Once it is created, I will let you know. Two and a half months, Siva. 2.5 months.